to Cradle to Chaos. Hey, Britt, how's your week?
Hi, it's good. How was your week?
It's good. I'm talking with my sultry voice today. I'm working on a little bit of a cold. God was like, you don't have enough going on in your life, so I'm going to throw this at you too.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm sure stress has like a little bit something to do with it. You need
fine.
your teacher voice to come back for the birthday party tomorrow,
Oh,
you can kind of like run the ship. Should we get you like a megaphone or something?
Probably. Or microphone at least. Yeah.
Yeah.
But Chloe had tubes this week.
Yeah. How'd that go?
Good. She ended up having a double ear infection when they got in there, which is just par for the course. So they had to irrigate her ears out.
At least they got everything out, and hopefully, have you seen any drainage since?
No, which is really interesting because...
Well, they probably got it all out.
Yeah, but you wouldn't think that would be it.
That's true.
I don't know. Lainey always had tons of drainage for like the first few weeks.
Yeah.
But nothing so far from Chloe.
Crusted blood, like her sheets were all nasty and whatnot. Well, I just didn't know for Chloe's like ear infection, like if it was still draining.
I expected it to be. Even the doctor said to expect it, and we haven't seen anything.
Oh gosh, well
so.
I hope her tubes are working. I hope you don't have a Millie effect.
It'll be fine.
But she's back at school doing good.
Yep. Yeah, she's totally. She was back to normal day 2, but I just kept her home.
It's amazing how quickly they like bounce back. It's like nothing even happened. Like I kept her home both days afterwards too.
Yeah.
Both times, I guess I should say. And she was completely fine. We ended up going and like doing something fun.
Yeah.
It's like, well, you're
surgery
home
yesterday, but
you feel fine.
Yeah. That was good.
Well, good. I'm glad she's doing well.
Yeah.
Today's been like a super productive day for me. I've just done like a lot of like life things, like cleaned out the pantry. Like I went to Aldi and got some groceries. I wanted to go because they have like a Mickey line out. I saw on TikTok, like with a whole bunch of Mickey stuff, Disney
at Aldi?
stuff at Aldi.
I don't ever go to Aldi.
Okay, I never did either, and now I love it. I'm like totally jumped on the bandwagon. It's just like so cheap. Like I can go and get the regular haul of groceries that I get, or like I would get at Kroger for like $200 for half the price. Like literally $100.
That's amazing.
For everything I need for all of us for the week. It's awesome.
I think Aldi's just not close to us.
It's not
so
that
I don't think about it. Yeah, but we just go like down the street to Kroger. So
that's fair. And you like to do pickup orders?
Yes, I don't go inside anywhere.
I love grocery shopping. It's like my favorite thing ever. Today was awesome because it was a weekday. Like nobody was there. That's like my dream. Pop in some headphones.
Listening to your favorite podcast,
Listening to my favorite podcast. Oh my gosh, speaking of that, I have the funniest story. Okay, so there was like a little Mother's Day get-together breakfast thing at daycare this morning. And so I was sitting and eating with Millie this morning in her room, and her teachers were like, oh my gosh, like didn't know you had a podcast, whatever. And they're like, we've been listening. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's so nice. And then one of her teachers was like, yeah, like during nap time, actually, the nap time music turned off and your podcast turned on. And she's like, I had to quickly stop it before it woke up any of the kids.
Oh my God.
I was dying.
That's
laughing.
amazing.
So shout out Miss Savannah, Miss Rain. Love you guys.
Oh, that's so nice.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you for listening.
So funny.
Yeah, I feel like we got through Chloe's surgery, so I checked that off the list, and now I'm like hyper focused on Lainey's party, which is tomorrow.
Yeah.
So I have all this stuff to do. I feel like I'm actually in a really good spot. We stuffed the piñata. We made all the like goodie bags.
Oh.
It's just like decorating and that stuff. The balloons take freaking forever.
Are you going to do like the big arch thing? And
No, we usually just do like balloon clusters. And then it hit me. I didn't even get a 3 balloon. Like, what is wrong with me? So I have to make a Target trip. Oh, darn.
Oh, darn.
There's a bug.
But do you get to go to Target by yourself?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Of course.
That sounds awesome.
That is the only way I go to Target, unless I'm like bringing Lainey, not Chloe, unless I'm bringing Lainey there with me for a specific reason, like to pick out a Trolls nightgown.
Oh, it's not a night. Wait, why not bring Chloe?
I don't, it's just a lot to have them both. I took them both out the other day, and it's like I need like a double wide cart so they can both sit in the front. Like Lainey ended up sitting in the actual cart, and Chloe sat up front. So
Are they not allowed to sit in the actual cart?
I don't think they're supposed to.
Yeah, because there's a drawing.
Who's gonna stop me?
That says don't put them in the actual cart. Yeah, I'm always like expecting to get yelled at.
They probably think they're gonna stand up and fall out, which they probably will.
Probably will. Yeah, Millie's done it like twice. but both times I'm like, oh my God, I'm gonna get in trouble.
I tried to get
who's gonna yell at
I
me?
know.
Target
The Target police. I tried to get her to do like, do you remember when you were little and you'd go to the grocery store with your parents and you'd like stand on the back of the cart and hold on and ride?
Yeah.
And it was so fun. I don't think you're allowed to do that.
For that.
She's not. She could do it. I tried to get her to do it, but she's too scared.
Her eyes are above.
I mean, barely, but yeah. All right. We're going to start with our tantrums and treats. I have some good ones.
Okay, go ahead.
This week.
Start with whatever you want.
Okay. Oh, wow.
You're stressed. You call the shots, girl. I'm just here for the ride.
Okay. I have 2 tantrums.
Okay.
The first one is for Lainey, and I actually need some advice.
Okay.
I don't know what to do. So she's a little follower whenever people are like doing things that they shouldn't do. Like, and you can tell that she's like, she'll like look around to see if anyone is catching on that she's misbehaving. But like, I don't know. So her gymnastics class, she's in a new class where she goes in by herself, but we're like sitting there watching. And she's great for the first 15 minutes or so. And then literally all hell breaks loose. She runs around like a freaking banshee and won't listen. Like one of her teachers was running after her and Lainey was literally darting in and out between the equipment, like running from her.
Really?
To the point where
that shocks me.
I had to go in, and it's because another little girl was doing it. So I had to go in and like I literally removed her from the area and made her come sit on the bench. And I said, if you're not going to listen, we're going to have to go home, or you can sit here and watch. And she lost her mind. Like, could not calm her down tantrum.
Oh God.
And I was like, if you think that you can listen and you can be a big girl, you can go back out there and you can try again. And she said she wanted to, but she like couldn't catch her breath. So she went back out there and she was like,
oh my God, that's the worst. Millie does that, the hyperventilating.
Yes.
Oh.
So I don't know. I just don't know how to fix it, because we talk about using your listening ears all the time. And well,
it's hard because she's seeing other kids do it, so she thinks that it's like okay behavior,
right?
Or she like it's like, well, why can this kid?
Funny.
Why can this kid do it and this other kid, or then I can't?
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, so how did she act when you sent her back in after having a talk with her?
She was fine. Like, she walked back. She just like then didn't want to do anything because she was upset. But she wasn't running around anymore. She was just sulking.
I would see how it goes next time.
Yeah.
Because now that you've like had the talk and she understands,
this is like an
the
ongoing
appropriate
thing.
Oh,
the tantrum was just like extra wild.
So it's just because that kid.
I mean, it's not always the same kid. It's just like she'll like double up with somebody, or I don't know. We'll see. I think she's like, the other kids in the classroom are a little bit older than her too. And so I think their attention spans are a little bit longer than hers, because this class is 45 minutes. So it's a little long for her.
That's long for a 3-year-old.
And so it makes sense that like as it progresses, she's like, okay, what else can we do?
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
Maybe talk to the teacher, honestly. Be like, listen, they're kind of like obviously losing attention. Like, is there any way we can like...
But it's really only her and another kid. Everybody else sits there and watches.
Like speed up stations, or like have a station in between stations.
Yeah. I think it's mostly a Lainey issue.
Oh. Yeah. Well, we know rewards work. Yeah, we know that and we bribing works.
We try that too. And if you listen and you do really well today, you can pick a treat when you get home. And then she doesn't listen and she doesn't get a treat and she loses her mind. And it's just like a whole thing. So I don't know.
It's just like a never-ending cycle.
Yeah. So that's a question mark.
Okay.
But my next one, so Chloe just had her surgery. So she has to get eardrops twice a day, every day for a week. And they sting. So like they hurt.
Oh my God, yeah.
Put them in.
It's awful.
But she's doing pretty well with them. But now I think she's just having like a little PTSD anytime I pull the bottle out. She just folds it in half. It's like,
she just goes to the ground, like boom,
gives into gravity. Yep.
That's exactly how Millie is with pretty much any kind of medication or the nose Frida.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny. My kids love medicine. Like would drink it like a bottle.
So weird.
They are obsessed. Like Tylenol.
Like we had
they literally like
in her bottle.
Suck it down.
Are you kidding me?
No.
That is so weird.
Yeah.
You're very
even
blessed.
when she went in for her surgery, they gave her like a little cocktail to like calm her down. And
just Both times Millie spit it right out.
That's hilarious.
And I'm like, girl, you're going to regret that decision.
Well, I don't remember, and I'm sure we'll talk about this topic a little bit more in depth down the road, but I don't remember Lainey getting this like calming medicine when she went.
It's like Tylenol.
Well, no, they give them Tylenol and like something to like help with separation. So like makes them a little sleepy and calms them down.
We didn't get that.
Oh, maybe Lainey didn't then because
maybe it's a new thing. Maybe ever since our kids, they're like, we should probably do this for the new kids.
Well, Chloe was literally like, she was high. She was like zoning out and just like rocking back and forth. And
she's like, this is great.
At one point, she actually fell over.
You had a drunk baby.
Yeah.
Oh my
God. It was
God.
great.
That's so funny.
Ugh. What are your tantrums?
Okay, so I have a few. I don't know which one I want to do. Okay, I want to talk about this because I want to know if this has ever happened to you, and listeners, if this has ever happened to you, please let me know because it is wild to me. Okay, Millie freaks out anytime I have my hair up in a ponytail.
What?
Yeah, has that ever happened to you?
No.
Okay, every time I have my hair in a ponytail, she points at my hair and says, no hair. Mama, no hair, and makes me take it down. And she will throw a fit until I take my hair out of a ponytail. Isn't that so weird?
Funny.
It probably started like when she was 1. Like she's done this for a really long time.
Oh my God.
But now she can actually vocalize it. And anytime I have my hair in a ponytail, it's no, mama hair.
She's like, Mom, you look awful.
No, honestly. And like, I look like a founding father, so she's not wrong. But sometimes you just have to have your hair in a ponytail. Like sometimes there's just days, like day 5 of my hair, girl, I'm not wearing it down unless I have like a hat.
99% of the time, my hair is in a bun. So.
Yeah. Well, I was thinking about it. My hair is mostly down. I would say it's like, but like I wear it up a good amount. Like I would say it's like 40, 60, 30, 70. I don't know. Yeah. But like it's not like every once in a while. It's like it's pretty
so funny.
It's a pretty like standard thing I do. So I don't know, but every single time, and if I don't take my hair down, like she will start crying.
She's like, "Can you get your life together?
Yeah,
and actually
like,
style
can you go
your
wash
hair?
your hair." Like honestly, it's so weird. And I think back to like, I don't know. I mean, we're gonna get into newborn phase today, but I'm like, when she was a newborn, I only had my hair up in a ponytail because survival and breastfeeding and hair is a thing, and I have really long hair, so like, I need to get it out of the way every once in a while. So I don't know, listeners.
That's hilarious.
Isn't that funny? So I'm really curious, listeners. Has anyone else's kids freaked out when they put their hair up in a ponytail or wore their hair in a different way?
Toddlers are so weird.
I must know. Yeah,
that's a good one.
What's your treat?
All right, my treat is Chloe. She
finally, Chloe,
your time to shine, girl.
You spent more time with her one-on-one this week too.
That's true. She's been so snuggly lately, like not just post-surgery, just in general. And she's learning how to give hugs. Oh. And she gives the best hugs. So she will put her arms around you, and then she like will link up under your arm and just like grip and hold tight and like put her head and the nuzzle in, and it's so sweet.
I'm
like,
gonna ask her for a
don't
hug
ever
tomorrow.
let go. Yeah. It's a good one.
Oh my gosh. Millie will really like that.
Oh, yeah.
She'll give her a hug.
Oh, she's a big hugger.
Oh my gosh. Cannot wait.
She'll hug anyone.
Anyone.
She's not quite in like the stranger danger.
So. Yeah. My treat is kind of at Matt's expense.
Ooh, those are my favorite.
Right. So a few episodes ago, my treat was like Millie has recently started saying I love you, and that's like continued, and now it's like I love you, Mama.
She still loves you.
Yeah. Oh my God, she still loves me. I know. It's very sweet. But now she'll just say love you, Mama, like at bedtime and when I drop her off and stuff. So this morning Matt had to go to work a little bit early, and we were sitting on the couch. She was just like watching her iPad while we got dressed, and I was like, okay, say bye-bye, Dad, I love you. And she's just like on her iPad, she goes, love you, Mama. And Matt's like, what the heck? Right
whatever.
There. And I'm like, ha ha ha. But I was like, no, you gotta say I love you, Daddy. Love you, Daddy. And
did she do it at all?
And she just kind of looked at him like, no, that's not how that works.
Not today, bro.
Yeah, it's I love you, Mama. That's the
phrase.
Sentence. Like that's what you say. You don't.
That is so funny. Like happy birthday.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, love you, Mama.
Happy birthday, love you, Mama. Yep.
Oh, that's so sweet.
That's sweet.
Well, today we're talking about bouncing back after kids / postpartum.
Yes.
Kind of all of that good stuff. So when I went for my first appointment, when I found out I was pregnant with Chloe, my doctor came in and she was like, oh my gosh, like I'm excited to see you again, but it seems so soon. And she was asking how old Lainey was, and she was around 18 months when I found out that I was pregnant. And she was like, oh yeah, no, that tracks. Like that's pretty typical. She said it actually takes your body 18 months to like fully heal and quote unquote bounce back. So that's like when you see that typical like pregnancies happen again, because people feel like ready and
interesting,
like mentally, physically, all that. And I just thought that was so interesting. I'm like,
that
18 months.
It takes 1.5 years for you to feel back to quote unquote normal.
Yeah.
But it's not the same normal that it was.
No.
It's like a new
crazy
normal. And like, but I think that's something I did not expect at all. Like to literally feel like a different person. And I can't, I was trying to write down how it feels and I can't. Like, you really can't explain it. Like, I remember getting home and just feeling like my house felt different.
Yeah.
My life felt different. Every single thing I did felt different.
Yeah.
And I don't know how to explain it. And it wasn't bad. It wasn't good. It was just different.
It just was.
It just was.
Yeah. I wrote down being a mom is weird.
Yes.
Because even while making these notes about like being postpartum, I had to keep reminding myself to think of how it was for me. And not for them.
Yeah.
Because like your mind just works differently now.
Oh man, I had a really, really hard time with postpartum. Like when I was in the hospital, I felt like on top of the world. I was like, this is awesome, because all I had to do was focus on her. And everybody was focusing on me healing, because I had a C-section. So I had to stay there 3 days, and everybody would come in and check on me. Like I literally couldn't stand up. So like everybody was taking care of me when I was taking care of her.
Right.
And so like that was all I had to worry about for the first 3 days of her life. And then we got home and I was like, still couldn't really stand.
Yeah.
Still couldn't really take care of myself, but then had to also take care of this newborn baby. And of course I had Matt, but he's a first time parent too.
Right.
And we didn't know what we were doing. She was so little. She was like 5 pounds when she was born.
Oh my gosh.
Just like a tiny little human. It was so hard. And like, I just feel like I felt so defeated because I was not expecting to feel so overwhelmed and sad.
Yeah.
I felt so sad because it didn't feel how I thought it was going to feel. I expected to continue my little pink cloud, like, blue sky, like everything's great because I have prepared for this and I have wanted it. I had all the stuff. I had all the things. I had all the knowledge. I didn't know what to expect, but like I knew enough of what to expect. Like I just remember feeling so sad because it wasn't this like happy, I don't know. It wasn't this like happy experience like I thought it was going to be.
Yeah. So
not that it wasn't happy.
No,
I should go
I know what you mean. Like,
back. Like, of course I was
the
happy
happiest day of your life.
Yes.
But then it just is different.
Yeah. I was happy to have her, of course, but the difficulties that came with it were just way more than I ever expected.
Yeah. I broke my down postpartum, like with each kiddo a little differently. But something you said just reminded me. So when I had Lainey in May of 2021, it was still very much COVID.
Yeah.
So like I had to deliver with a mask on. Like it was just like,
oh my gosh, how?
It was just like, I mean, they were very like, they weren't going to yell at me about it, but yeah, I mean, we had to take a COVID test and everything, but it was a little weirder for us because we were only allowed to have one person come to the hospital. And then after that, we were like, do we want people to meet her?
Yeah.
Like, do we want people over? And then we couldn't go and do anything. Like, it was just.
That's how we were. It was, September.
Yeah, it was weird.
A few months later. It is weird.
I will say, though, for anyone, like maybe you're pregnant right now or you don't have kids or you're, just curious about the whole process. Once you have that baby, it is instant relief. Like, instant relief of like any pain that you had during pregnancy or like anything like that.
I'm over here rolling my eyes.
Well, you also had a C-section.
Yeah, it was not instant relief.
So if you are having a vaginal birth, at least, like literally anything I felt, like it was like the biggest sigh of relief. She came out and I was like, this is great.
Like your body felt.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Like you like lost. You lost weight for sure. But
yeah.
Like you lost a.
Mm-hmm. It's just like you could breathe like that. Like your back, your being able to breathe. Like if you had acid reflux, which I did really bad, like it's gone. Like all that like
Really?
specific pregnancy symptoms that you think are never going to go away are
Yeah.
like healed immediately.
So I had gestational diabetes.
Oh, no.
And I forgot kind of like afterwards because we had her at 5:30, and so at like 10 by the time we got to our room, Matt's like, I'm ordering Wendy's, like I'm so hungry, and he's like, what do you want? And I was like, I don't know, I really can't eat anything there, my blood sugars are going to be really high. And the nurse looked at me and she's like, you don't have gestational diabetes anymore, like you had the baby. Yeah. And I was like, oh my God, I want french fries and a Frosty and chicken nuggets. That was the first thing I ate after having her. And I just remember being like, wait, I don't have to prick my finger 3 times a day anymore.
So funny.
It was like the best feeling ever.
Oh my gosh. I don't remember what I ate after Lainey.
Really?
No.
I feel like that's like a very like monumental moment.
Yeah, I don't know.
So you're like, I'm going to eat deli meat and
I ate deli meat both my pregnancies.
yeah. Yeah, that's becoming more normalized now.
For sure.
Um,
So with Lainey, I didn't have any tearing. I didn't have any tearing with either girl.
That's amazing.
And with Lainey, I only bled for like a week. It was like a pretty easy recovery. But I wanted to talk about how, and I don't know if you experienced this with a C-section. Probably not, I would imagine.
Bleeding, I did.
No.
Oh.
After you have the baby, the like aggressive pushing on your stomach.
Oh, yes, I did.
Yeah, interesting. I felt like I was
you're
wondering.
still your uterus.
Well,
that
I meant like with your incision. I didn't know if they could do that.
Oh, I was pretty numb.
Okay. God, that sounds terrifying.
It was. The like recovery nurse or whatever was like, try to lift your legs. And I'm like, I can't. She's like, try to lift your legs. And I'm like, I can't. Like she was like kind of like messing with me. And then she took my hand and put it on my stomach and push. And she's like, feel how hard that is. Because I couldn't feel, like I could feel with my hand, but like, you know, belly down. I couldn't feel anything.
Right.
And she was like, feel how hard that is. And it was like rock hard. And I was like, what is happening?
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
I also, right after the C-section, I think this is pretty normal for C-sections, my blood pressure completely dropped and like I was uncontrollably shaking.
I had the shakes with Lainey.
Did you? They had to put like 10 weighted blankets on top of me.
It wasn't, mine wasn't like extreme or anything.
Like I couldn't
it was just
hold
like,
Millie.
oh.
Yeah, it was sad. It was a weird thing. So you're like, I just went through this. My body's like, so like, what is happening? My baby's over there crying. Matt's like, I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah. They do this. So they push on your tummy like really, really hard to help get all the blood out. And it's just like funny because they come in and they just like pull down your underwear and like, check you out. Like,
go in.
I mean, like you got nothing to hide after that point, but
no. Everything becomes so clinical once you become pregnant. Like even going to gyno appointments now, I'm like, all right, here we go.
Let's
Just
do it.
Spread it open.
Check her out.
Yep. I don't care at all.
I just think it's funny to think that you just had this tiny human and you have to change your brand new baby's diaper and your own.
Yeah. Anytime I would change her diaper, I'd also change mine. Yep.
I was just talking to Adam about this. I'm like, remember the first time you helped me change my diaper?
Oh my gosh, maybe this is TMI, but you remember that first number 2?
So I remember being a little nervous, but like it was fine.
Oh, not me.
No.
That was terrible.
Oh no.
I like came out of the bathroom. Matt's like, how'd it go? And I'm like, I don't want to talk about it. And this was like 5 days after birth.
No.
Some people say like,
I think mine was like the next day or something.
I think like they're not supposed to let you leave the hospital until you.
Oh.
Or is that a myth?
I feel like that's
If they
with
let
like
me leave.
with surgeries. I think so. But
Well,
you had a surgery for sure.
I did.
Oh,
Well,
I don't know.
anyway.
That is so funny.
But yeah, I just remember like, I don't know. Every day at 5 p.m. I don't know why. That was like, I hit this point where my anxiety got unbearable.
Oh, that's
like,
normal. That's
5 p.m.?
Yeah, they call that
Witching hour?
maybe, but it's something it's a typical thing that
Now you tell
oh
me.
man, there's a word for it.
Where were you when I was pregnant? Or when I was postpartum?
I was also pregnant. Well, I guess I had my baby first.
You had like a 6-month-old.
Yeah, no, there is a word for it where like you're going through your day and like it's like that anxiety leading up to like
Yes.
bedtime and like
That's what it is.
it's like a sleep anxiety almost.
Oh, okay. Well, that
like,
makes me feel a lot better.
For how the
So
night is going to
mom's
go.
Listening.
Yeah. Because
5 p.m. I tried everything. I would stop because I would drink like an afternoon cup of coffee and and breastfeeding, that's another thing I'll get into in a second, but like I was trying to limit my caffeine, but Millie didn't sleep. So I needed some kind of something to get through the day. So I would even try to like cut caffeine, like maybe that's like adding to my anxiety. Like I tried everything and nothing helped. I have been on Lexapro since 2018, and that's an SSRI. So basically it helps your brain produce serotonin that like it doesn't normally produce.
Were you allowed to take that?
No. So that's the thing. So they weaned me off probably in my 3rd trimester. They switched me completely from Lexapro to Zoloft because apparently that's like more pregnancy friendly, which since has been debunked that that's not true.
Oh,
I've been talking to my nurse practitioner. I'm like, what was up with that? And she said she's been learning a lot that that's not actually true. But regardless, so they switched me to Zoloft and they kind of weaned me from like, I think it was like 10 milligrams to 5 milligrams and then like completely off. So I was completely off it before giving birth and I was fine. Like I remember like not really missing it too much, but then afterwards I was like, maybe I can like go without it because I was doing so well without it. And like, not that never be ashamed of taking medication ever. Like I'm obviously back on it, but I was just kind of like, well, if I don't need it, like then maybe let's try to like not take it. But no, like after those first 2 weeks, I like got my nurse practitioner on the phone and I was like, we've got to get on something.
Well, but good for you for recognizing that though. Yeah. Because I feel like a lot of people are like, oh, like I can't do this without meds, and then they feel bad about it and they don't follow through. So
exactly. And sometimes I think people think it's going to go away because of the baby blues or whatever, which maybe it does, but if it's not going away, it's okay to reach out for help. Totally. It's okay to get something like, I don't know. And a lot of my friends that I've talked to got back on whatever they were on or never got off of it and then also upped their dose. Oh, yeah. Because you just have more life stressors than you normally.
What do you mean? What's stressful about it?
Nothing. So I don't know. Getting back on medication helped me a lot.
That's great.
Been going strong ever since.
I definitely had baby blues with Lainey. Everything made me cry, whether it was happy, sad, like you name it.
And you can go from one emotion to the next within a second.
And I had a really hard time specifically with feedings. I know we talked about this in another episode, but because Lainey, we couldn't wake her up to feed her, I was like, I'm failing as a mom. Like, I can't do this. She won't eat.
Yeah. I think the feeding failure is a very common
And
feeling.
she was a formula-fed baby, so I can't even imagine having to go through that with breastfeeding. But I will say with Lainey and my postpartum life with her, drying up my milk was more painful than childbirth tenfold. Like, it was the worst part.
Really?
Pregnancy, labor, any type of healing, anything that I had to do, drying up my milk was the worst pain.
Explain it. I don't even.
It was the worst pain I've
never
ever felt in my entire life.
No one talks about this.
It was awful. So if you are considering not breastfeeding, which is fine, I did it too, just know that this is coming and it sucks. So
what happens?
Your boobs just get rock hard, and then like there's no relief because you're not expressing milk. And there's like a lot of different things that they used to do that now is not safe. So like it's really just up to your body to like figure out, hey, you don't need this, and for it to dry up. But like I had made the decision very early on that breastfeeding wasn't going to be right for me in that part of my life that I was in. Yeah. And it took almost 2 whole weeks for the pain to even start to subside. Oh like everything hurt. It just hurt. It hurt to sleep. It hurt to shower. It hurt to wear clothes. Like it hurt to breathe. It was awful. I'd be laying down on the couch and I couldn't get up by myself. It hurt so bad. Oh my gosh. And then on top of that, you have to take care of a baby. Yeah. So I just had constant ice packs. They talk about like using cabbage leaves. I was Googling everything.
I'll try literally anything.
And my last thing that I tried was, they said Sudafed, that you can take Sudafed and it can help. So I was like, I'm doing it. I'm going to, and I remember the pharmacist was like, hope you feel better. I'm like, thanks. Like, I'm not going to tell you what I'm actually using this for, but Yeah. So like
How
hands
long
down,
did it take?
it was like a full 2 weeks for it to even like start to feel even a little bit better. And it was hard because
I'm sure you just wanted to like express.
yeah, no, I didn't, because I didn't want it, because then it would just be a vicious circle.
Yeah.
And it was hard because you can't let the water touch you in the shower, because that can cause expression. So you're just like have uncomfortable showers.
It's like not only do you have this like this tiny baby to take care of, but you have so much going on with like your own body.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
like it's crazy.
I wrote down a couple of products that I enjoyed lining my diaper with.
Oh yes, please share.
Okay,
did you make padsicles?
I didn't make them. I bought them.
Okay.
So Mom Frida is like the best brand out there.
Yes.
So witch hazel, and then there was like a perennial spray, like a perennial foam that I used.
Yeah.
That was so good.
The
Perry bottle.
Yeah, the Perry bottle.
Oh yeah.
About that.
There's nothing like a warm water bath for your freshly torn apart vagina.
Yes.
I mean, it truly did feel so good though. It was just like
yeah. Oh, I'm sure. After giving birth, I can't even imagine.
I had also bought a sitz bath, which people say is like really helpful. So it's like this like half bowl that there's a couple different ways you can do it. You can do it in the tub, or they make them to like fit on your toilet seat, and you fill it with warm water and like the sitz bath stuff.
Yeah.
And I tried it. I didn't like it. It didn't really help me, but a lot of people said that it was good. But ice pads are life. So I bought the ones. You can make them and put them in your freezer. Yeah, that's how they have them at the hospital. But I had bought this huge box off of Amazon, and when you can you open them and you crack them, and then they get cold.
Oh
my
God!
God!
Stick.
Yeah, it doesn't glow, a fun color, but that's an idea.
Oh man,
that they were so amazing. That was my favorite little tool to use.
That's awesome.
But I do just remember it being so painful to sit down. You'd like do the little wiggle.
Yeah.
But you probably didn't have to experience that.
Not that part, but I couldn't sit down comfortably. Like I needed to be laying down just because the incision. And it was so itchy. It caused so itchy. Like sometimes it still itches.
Interesting.
But it was like a burning sensation. So like I couldn't stand up or sit down without like holding a pillow. One of my friends told me to try that, and it was a game changer. Hold a pillow really tight and put pressure on it and stand up and sit down. But Matt would have to like help me up. Like I couldn't like roll over to the side or anything. Like
gotcha.
I really couldn't.
Do you have stairs in your house?
Very much at all. Yes.
Did you have to stay downstairs?
I stayed downstairs quite a bit.
Yeah.
Yes. Going up and downstairs was not enjoyable.
Well, I heard that you're not even allowed to go up the stairs. I didn't think so. I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do. But
yeah, I know. I'm like, what do you want me to do? Like, I can't just live downstairs. Well, her bassinet was in the living room.
I do remember that.
I couldn't have showered and stuff, but that was not a priority for me. So I breastfed and pumped from the very beginning because she didn't sleep. I wanted to be able to sleep and have Matt give her bottles every once in a while. So, that was so much work because I had an oversupply. So like I was just constantly doing something with my boobs. Yeah. Like whether it was like trying to feed her, and like she took a really long time to learn to latch. Like it was hit or miss if she was going to latch that day.
Interesting.
Yeah, it was kind of.
Chloe was like out of the gate.
That's great.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine.
Yeah, it's very dependent on their mood. Like I don't know, and she was getting bottles too. So I think this is my own theory. I don't know if this is actually real, but like I think she got frustrated with my like letdown to happen. Like it took too long or something because she was getting, but with the bottle she was
it's getting like instant.
She was getting a lot in a short amount of time because she would just like guzzle it down. Yeah, she was a really good eater, which is ironic now. She's not a good eater anymore.
No toddler's a good eater.
But I had something called dysmorphic milk ejection reflex. It's abbreviated to DMER. So basically it's right when your letdown of your milk happens, you experience just like the world's worst negative emotions.
Interesting.
And I didn't even know it was a thing, and I was experiencing it. I didn't even know it was like a thing until after I had it.
That's so interesting.
And I was like, wait, what? This is like, I'm not just going crazy. So like, I thought I was literally going crazy. So it's literally right when your breast milk lets down and you start to express. It's the moment.
Yeah,
it's like, it's awful.
Like, what would you think about?
Like, awful thoughts. Like you would get, like I would just get like the worst anxiety and depression. Like everything was awful. I wrote down because I looked it up to be able to tell you, but yeah, it's hollow feelings in the stomach, anxiety, sadness, irritability, and hopelessness. It's just all these negative emotions that like happen with your letdown.
I think
I still did it for like a long time.
That's great. I mean, good for you.
But like looking back, I'm like, that was silly.
Yeah, I only successfully breastfed for a couple of months, and
it's really hard.
Yeah, I think it is very interesting that everyone experiences letdown differently, because you would think it's the same thing for everyone, but like you join all these moms groups, and so for me, my nipples would burn. Like, and somebody else that I knew had experienced the same things, and they referred to it as acid reflux in their nipples. And I'm like, that's the best way to describe it though, because that's exactly what it feels like. And I'd be like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Like I wanted to like put the ice cubes on them. Like it was weird.
Oh man.
But I did combo feed with her. So we did breast milk formula and pumping. So my doctor called it the trifecta. But
whatever works, man.
So I would nurse her, and then I'd pump in between feeds. So with Chloe, with Lainey, it's interesting. My worst postpartum was drying up my milk, and with Chloe, my worst postpartum was breastfeeding.
Yeah.
So like either way, it just sucks. I mean,
hard.
You just have to get the hang of it.
Yeah.
I think breastfeeding, it's just a mental game. Yes. And I was thinking about it. I'm like, I don't know if it would have made life harder or easier with Lainey, because I would have been in less pain for sure. But then I would have had the added mental game of trying to figure that out. So I don't know. Do you remember the cramping with breastfeeding?
Yes.
For like the first couple of weeks, every time you nurse or express in any way, your uterus contracts.
Yeah.
But they also say that it helps you bounce back a little bit quicker body-wise. And I think it's true. Like comparing not doing it at all with Lainey to doing it with Chloe, I feel like my body did bounce back a lot quicker with Chloe. Yeah.
Which is interesting, because people usually say the opposite. Usually people say that the second baby actually takes like more of a toll on their body.
Interesting.
That is interesting. That's good for you.
It's like extra calories that's leaving your body, you know?
Yeah. That is true. What is it? You burn like 500 to 1,000 extra calories a day just by.
But I was also home so much longer with Chloe, and we were doing daily walks, so like that could have helped too.
You also had a toddler.
Yeah.
You had Lainey. You were chasing around Lainey too. Mm-hmm. You know, it's like, yeah.
I was just gonna piggyback off of that. I do think I was in a much better place mentally with Chloe.
Yeah.
And I think
knew what to expect.
Well, yeah, I was going to say, I think it had a lot to do with, I've done it before. And then also I think it had a lot to do with having a longer leave. Mm-hmm. So with Lainey,
how long was your leave?
With Lainey, they didn't offer a leave. So it was just like based on PTO. And then I took a couple extra weeks that like we just had to figure out financially. Yeah. So I ended up taking like 8 weeks with her. But with Chloe, you get 4 months. So I had a full 4 months.
That's wonderful.
And I mean, I could have taken more if I wanted to, but I mean, I felt pretty good at that point. So I think that just knowing that and going into it, I was like, I'm going to have all this time to like get my life together and like figure this out. And I think that was just like a mental load, like taken off for sure.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got 8 weeks paid and I took 12.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was good. I remember feeling ready to go back.
Yeah.
Feeling ready to kind of get back into a routine, kind of like have adult conversations again, like get dressed in the morning, feel like I have a purpose besides just like feeding this child.
Right. Besides having your boobs out all day long.
I remember back to breastfeeding, I had like I said, an oversupply. And when my letdown did happen, not only was I experiencing these awful feelings, it was like the floodgates open.
Oh my gosh.
I felt bad. There were multiple times where Millie would like start like coughing, like almost like choking.
Wow.
Yeah. Like I had too much. Like I would have to express first.
Interesting.
Like
yeah.
You
milk yourself.
I'd have to like milk myself, which if you do that, the hookah or hoka.
Haka. I never know how to say it, but yeah.
The haka.
I hated it.
You
I hated everything
Well, it's
about
great
it.
for if you need to self-express real fast. It's like
I
a
would
little
wear
bottle.
it on the opposite side when I was
Oh, that's a
pumping
good idea. Yeah.
to like catch anything that would
Leak out.
Yeah, because normally when you first start, your body is just like figuring it out. So if you're nursing or pumping on one side, your other side is going to leak, and then it just goes to waste if you don't catch it.
Oh my God, I wear so many nursing pads.
Oh yeah. Oh my.
All day,
It was
every day.
awful. I remember the first time I accidentally slept through in the middle of the night, and I woke up and I was like not only in so much pain, but like my shirt was soaking wet. I'm like, okay.
I remember being in Target and I heard a baby cry and I started leaking.
No.
It wasn't my baby. It was just a baby.
You know what? That's interesting that you say that. Nobody ever explained this to me. And like I didn't know about this until after I was done breastfeeding, and it makes me so sad to think that I could have done better. I had no idea that you needed to wait for a quote unquote letdown when you're pumping. I know that probably sounds really stupid, but like I guess I just figured it was there.
Yeah.
And like you were pumping it out, and sometimes I would get nothing in a session, and people like down the road would say, like if they were doing it at work or something, would talk about how they needed to watch videos of their kiddos to make it happen. And I was like, why am I so dumb? Like, why am I so stupid?
No, you're not dumb. It's these things people don't talk about.
No, but it's just like little things like that totally change your life.
Yeah.
Flange size.
Yep. Oh,
that's a huge thing.
Totally.
And how it can also change throughout your time that you're breastfeeding.
Yep. My pump, I would get different results from if I did it battery powered versus it being plugged in. Like just
the wearable pumps are awful. You get like
they're
nothing.
awful, but
they're
sometimes
convenient.
they were helpful.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had just like one from Amazon that was like $80.
Yeah.
I wish I could have got the Elfie.
I had the super expensive. I don't even remember what it was called. It was trending at the time, and I hated everything about it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
They don't work as well. I only had one, so I'd go like, boop, boop.
Yeah.
Switch it back and forth.
I honestly did best with my manual pump. I got the most volume out of my manual pump.
Oh. I don't know. Yeah, it's just, I don't know. I think postpartum, just like nobody talks about how hard it is. I think everyone, like society expects you to like love every second of it and not think about like.
It's just too much.
It's like, of course it's a blessing. Of course you're happy that you have this new member of your family, but like it is freaking hard.
I will say though, once you find your rhythm, you feel like $1,000,000.
Oh
You're like, I've got this
figured
out. And then a new milestone pops up, a new phase happens, and then you have to figure out your new routine all over again.
You basically get a new baby every 4 months. That's kind of the way I see it.
It is true. It's so true. But I remember like there'd be a day where me and Adam were like, we got this. Yeah. Like we're so good at being parents.
Yeah. And then they decide they don't like cereal.
Yeah, and they're like, actually, this isn't going to work. And then a sleep regression happens or a tooth pops through.
I think once I went back to work and we got into a rhythm, I think like my mental health was a lot more stable. Actually, my mental health got dramatically better when I stopped pumping and breastfeeding.
Yeah.
I think around like 8 months, she went all formula.
Yeah.
And
oh my gosh.
Loved every second. I got my life back.
I'm like the moms out there that are like 2 years in. I'm like, God, that is amazing.
It's absolutely amazing. Yeah.
Yeah. I think this came much, 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 much later for me into motherhood or quote unquote postpartum. Because I'm just going to say I'm almost 3 years postpartum with Lainey. I'll be talking at her high school graduation how I'm 18 years postpartum.
Oh my God.
But it took a lot longer for me to not associate myself with just being a mom. And it's hard. I 100% do. But it's hard. It was so hard for me to find time for just me. So now I'm like going to the gym more. I play tennis, just trying to make more time for friends and hobbies and things like that. But outside of that, it is difficult. If someone just like came up to you and was like, hey, tell me about yourself, I'd be like, well, I'm a mom.
Yeah, same. First thing.
So funny. A friend of mine recently got a new job, and she was talking about how like in the interview process she makes it a point to like not talk about that, and I'm like, oh my God, I don't think I could do it. I'm pretty sure that's like the second thing out of my mouth. I'm like, I like the best kids ever.
Yeah. I mean, it's a lot of what we are.
But it's so funny to think of like, I'm like, what did I talk about before I had kids? Like, what would I have said?
Yeah.
It's just very interesting. Be like, I went to Ohio State.
Yeah.
I'm
what do you like
married.
to do for fun?
Probably wasn't watching Mickey Mouse Clubhouse.
Go to the
then.
park a lot.
Yeah. We watch Bluey.
Bluey's great.
But isn't that so
show?
funny to like think back? I'm like,
It is funny.
what did I used to say about me?
Yeah.
Weird.
It is. It's hard. And I feel like I'm not there. Like, I don't think I am out of the letting her define me phase yet.
Oh, no. I mean, I was getting better, and then I had another one, and I started all over again. So.
And then you got double as bad.
I'm like, not only am I a mom, but I'm a mom to two.
And I hang out with my mom friends.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, I don't know. I think that's going to come with time. But I think we're both doing like good things to like take a step in the right direction by like, doing things for ourselves and doing this. Even though we're talking about our kids, we're still like,
okay, I'm always going to talk about
together.
my children.
Yeah.
There's
sometimes
sometimes
we get along so well.
I'm like, am I annoying you? Because I'm sorry, but I'm going to keep doing it.
I can never be annoyed by kid stories or kid pictures. Like everybody,
bring them on.
Show them all because I love it. All right. Well, if you're going through it right now, we're here for you. We get it. It's rough, but there is a light at the end of the tunnel.
100%.
And I hope we didn't scare anybody. It's not all bad. There's a lot of really good stuff we didn't talk about. But
the smell of that baby.
Oh my God. Up that baby all day long.
It's so.
Even their poop smells good.
It does. It's like sweet.
Yes.
Oh God. Maybe we're the only two people in the world that think that.
Everyone stopped listening. They were like,
we're gonna shut this down right now. Yes, there are good things.
Yes.
But if you're in the thick of it, just know, reach out if you feel like you need help too.
Join our Facebook group. We're here for you guys. We want to hear from you. Excuse me. I'm getting all choked up.
Our Facebook group, Instagram, or just like a professional too. If you feel like you are.
There's no shame.
No, not at all.
No shame in medication. No shame in reaching out for help. If you think it's more than baby blues, if you are having negative thoughts when your letdown is happening, just know it's normal. And
that's so crazy.
I know.
If your nipples feel like they're gonna burst into flames, also normal.
We have remedies for you. Somebody does.
Oh.
All right. What's next week's episode?
So next week we are going to talk about all things medical.
Ooh.
So Chloe obviously just got her tubes, so that, but like reasons we've called the doctor, just like allergies, all those fun things.
Okay.
So
love it. I've got lots of content for that one.
Yeah, same.
All right. Well, have a good week, everybody.
We'll see you next time.